Hi everyone, this is Jerry, and this is a video for those of you who already know how to play a game of chess, you know the rules, and you're looking for a better understanding of what to do next. And so this video goes over some basic opening ideas. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, feel free to contact me at any of the two websites you see below. Hope you enjoy the video. Okay, first things first, what's of great importance in chess is the point value of the pieces, so let me just go ahead and touch on that very quickly. Each of the pawns are worth 1 point each, the knights and bishops are worth 3 points each, the rooks are worth 5, the queen is worth 9. More specifically, the knights and bishops are considered to be your minor pieces, your rooks and queen are considered to be your major pieces. In the opening, you should not move your major pieces out, and this is for good reason. If you are to bring out your major pieces early, if you are to develop your major pieces early, your opponent's minor pieces, the knights and bishops, the pieces that are lesser valued, can more likely than not attack your major pieces, and you will then be having to react to your opponent's threats. And this is something you want to avoid altogether. And so the opening, which consists of about the first 7 moves of a game, should involve bringing your knights and bishops out and getting castled. If you are to follow 2 rules of thumb, you can accomplish this in nearly every chess game you play. And here are the 2 rules of thumb that you can follow. One of which is to not move the same piece more than once in the opening, and the other one is to only make enough pawn moves so as to help develop your bishops. Let's take a look at a quick example game. Pawn to d4. Not only does it establish a pawn on one of these 4 center squares, which is often a very good idea in chess, but also it opens a door for the bishop's development. Knight to f6, a developing move. Knight to f3, a developing move. Pawn to d5, establishing a pawn on one of these 4 center squares and opening a door for this bishop. Bishop to g5, attacking the knight. Bishop to f5, development. Pawn to e3, opening a door for this bishop. Knight on b8 to d7, a developing move and connecting the knights. Connected knights are often a good thing because if one is captured, the other one has the option of recapturing it. Bishop to e2, developing move and making way for white to now castle. Pawn to e6, opening a door for the other bishop. Castle, a developing move, getting the king safe. Bishop to d6, a developing move and getting ready to castle. Knight on b1 to d2, and white does a similar thing with his knights, connecting them. And black castles. After just these 7 moves, 3 things have been accomplished. Both sides have done the following. They've developed both knights, they've developed both bishops, and they are castled. And this was accomplished by following 2 rules of thumb. One of which was to not move the same piece more than once in the opening, and to only make enough pawn moves so as to help develop your bishops. Both sides have done just that. That is essentially the opening phase of the game. What I'm about to show you pretty much starts to get into the middle game, and it's just going to be a quick preview of what that might look like. In this position here, it is white's move, and let's say he goes ahead and he or she makes the move pawn to c4. This is a multi-purpose move, and here are its purposes. One of which is to attack black's center pawn, more specifically the pawn on d5, and open a diagonal for the queen, and the other one being allowing the rook to come to c8, where it would be able to function very well along this file. Let's say black responds by playing pawn to c6, supporting his center pawn. Pawn captures pawn, and black has two different ways of recapturing. Well, three different ways. He could recapture with the knight, but that would be a bad choice. You'd lose the queen. That would not be a good trade for black. White would get 9. Black would only get 3. Not a good trade. So really there's only two legitimate recaptures, and it's with the c6 and e6 pawn. Let's just say the pawn on c6 captures, and whenever a pawn makes a capture, files change. In the very beginning of the game, all files are closed. By closed, I'm referring to each file containing exactly one white and one black pawn. After this capture occurred on the d5 square, files changed. This C file is now considered to be open. From here, play might continue as follows. The rook might come to the open file. Rooks function well on both open and semi-open files. Right here we have just an open file. Rook might come to c8, queen to b3, queen to b6, and play will continue from here. Let me just give you a quick variation. Suppose that black does not capture with the c6 pawn, but instead the e6 pawn. How is this different? Well, it's not any different for white. White is still going to make a rook move to the c file, or maybe bring the queen out to this square, but things are a little bit different for black in that the rook is going to be doing well on this file here. This is considered to be a half open file for black. This is considered to be a half open file for white. So again, this is really just getting into the middle game. I really wanted to just focus on these first 7 moves, the opening phase of the game. And one last thing to know is that, let's say for example, instead of developing to this square with the bishop, let's say black does something different, like pawn to h6, attacking the bishop. We have a 1-point piece attacking a 3-point piece. We have to react to that. And so I know I was emphasizing getting 3 things accomplished, getting both knights, both bishops, and getting castled in just 7 moves, but you do have to take into account what your opponent's threats are. And so if a move like this is to come about, the bishop is now going to have to either capture the knight or find a safe square to move to, and then play can go ahead. You could then continue by getting your other pieces out and developing. So hopefully you found this video beneficial. Take care. Bye.